All right, so I have finally stopped becoming the consumer and I focus on becoming the producer. With the content machine that we're living in, I found myself broke, hopeless, and addicted to driving content and driving views for other people. And what I've realized is that those people were the producers in this economy, and yet I was just the consumer consuming their content. And what most people don't realize their self is that you're either the producer or the consumer, but yet you just haven't picked a side. All of us find ourselves watching their videos and thinking, man, if I just had the perfect lifestyle that they lived, I would start a YouTube channel or I would start content as well. And what we don't realize is that the reason why they're in the position they are today is just because they started. And I realized that if I don't start now, I'm probably never gonna start at all. And I'm gonna find myself in this cycle of just consuming, rather than actually producing the content of my life that's in my head and my story. So let's just say that this channel is a way of me breaking the loop. This channel is not only gonna tell my story, but it's gonna tell my leadership, my goals, my outcomes, and give insight to who I am and what I want to build. I'm not going to be waiting for the perfect setup or the perfect life that I one day may have, but instead, I'm going to capitalize on what I have now and bring you into my current moment of time to hopefully show you that you can start from this moment in time and you can start from these goals, dreams, and ideas and ambitions, and you can actually achieve that through just putting in the work and the effort of starting. So to get started, I'm going to tell my story. My name is Troy Vise. I'm currently 20 years old, and at this current moment in time, I'm a failed entrepreneur. At this point, I've started around 6 businesses, and with most of the businesses prior being businesses, but not actual businesses. And let me kind of explain that. When I first started at around 12 years old, I was a glorified employee. I started out in photography, website design, SEO, and marketing, and all of those avenues and businesses eventually closed its doors or failed for me. Through that, I got lessons and nuggets of knowledge to then pass over into new business models when I turned into my teens. I moved from Houston to Austin, eventually played football in high school, got a 9-to-5 job, and eventually dropped out of high school to then start my first successful business. And that's where it all started. I thought from there that the money was infinite and that this great opportunity would never, ever dry up. I thought it was almost like a well I had tapped into that was just going to pull money out of the ground forever. But as we may know, that's just not how that works. So, September 2023, I start my automotive customization business, and it takes off. Naturally, the demand of those services outweighed the supply, and I tapped into a market that was always growing. Now, with this growth and potential, I learned the first few avenues of business that would eventually make a business successful. I learned how to manage people. I learned how to manage outcomes and systems. I learned how to manage inventory, rent, overhead, expenses, you name it. But in a way, I was almost thrown into this fire with little guidance and little vision. And I made a lot of dumb choices from the start that affected the business's trajectory and ultimately led to its failure. And I'm being fully transparent. I was 18 to 19 years old and I touched over $150,000 in that business. But by the time I look back in a year in advance, I had $0. And if not, there were some moments in time where I was actually losing money rather than gaining. I met a lot of great people on that path. I built systems and opportunities and got so much knowledge in marketing and other things along those lines. And I'm sad that chapter closed because it felt like a part of me died, and it felt like a part of my dreams and goals died with that business as well. It led to a weird point in my life where I felt like I was failed. I felt like I couldn't carry on. I felt like I had let down others around me. And honestly, the way that it ended was kind of horrible. It closed a lot of my doors with relationships. It closed a lot of my doors with people in this world. And it closed and isolated me in this area. And that kind of brings us to our current moment, because one of the customers that I had served and met within that business actually went on to become my mentor currently today. And funny story, it actually started from me learning a new service with his vehicle. And he actually entrusted me with his vehicle to learn how to customize his seats and turn it from black to red. And that ended up kickstarting our relationship. And because I was able to deliver something that no one else could deliver, he saw a glimpse inside of what I was capable of doing. And he took a bet on me. And the bet was pretty big. So after my vehicle customization business failed, at the time, while it was starting to fail, I got into this little lucrative untapped business with private rental. Now, these private rentals were actually in the automotive business as well. So I then leveraged my credit, got a couple of vehicles for $0 down from the bank, And then using those vehicles, I then rented it out to people on Facebook in my local area. And so what I found that people are struggling to maintain vehicles, or people are struggling in the economy and need vehicles, affordable vehicles. And so I kind of developed that market and tapped into what was in Austin, Texas. Now from there, I got 2 Teslas and a Chevrolet Trax. And from there, it pretty much took off. It was pretty sustainable. And I was making right around $3,500 a month, which is 100% comfortable just from the vehicles. That's not even counting what I was making in other places, and that's not even counting what I was making in other avenues or business ventures. That was just from vehicles that I got for $0 down. And so it showed me the sustainability of that business model, and it showed me a formula of business where if you can have an offer that has demand, but you can price it to where capitalism makes it profit, you start to realize that if you leverage assets, you can pretty much make money off of those assets. And so it gave me this new perspective of real estate, cars, anything that leverages an asset and you get paid for it. And it was pretty incredible. It taught me tons of lessons and tons of knowledge about the business in general that it pretty much allowed me to grow that business substantially. From there, I actually took on 2 more investors and I got and managed their fleet as well. That's where it went to shit. And part of my language, that is where business just blindsided me again and I got completely smacked. My Chevrolet Trax got stolen and taken to Mexico. 2 of my investors' vehicles got crashed in 1 week. And within Monday through Friday, yet again, it felt like my business had just collapsed. And this again left me in a position of hopelessness, strandedness, and feeling like I had let down the people around me. And that's where I started to look at my previous skills and knowledge. And I started just literally boiling down to this desk of what the hell do I do? I'm a high school dropout. I don't have a college degree. And I feel like I'm in the position of most, but yet the world looks at me like I'm in the position of hierarchy. Most of the people, if you ask them about me, they'll tell you, oh yeah, Troy's this smart, good looking, probably don't say that, but this smart, talented young man who always seems to have a successful business. And yet when I look at myself in the mirror, I say the opposite. And so my goal is to bridge that gap, because if I can bridge that gap, that's when I feel like the success will hit me. And that's where I feel like the fruits of it will start to outweigh the thoughts of it. And so my goal with this is currently I'm building things. I'm building systems, I'm building channels, I'm building software, I'm building tons of things that one day will provide usefulness to this world. And by doing that, I'm taking all the lessons and failures I had from before, and I'm merging those into tools that the world can use. Because at this point, I've been in everybody's shoes. I've been in the consumer shoes, I've been in the CEO shoes, I've been in the employee shoes, I've been in it all. I've also been in multiple industries. I've been in software, I've been in service, I've been in automotive, I've been in tons of other avenues. And so I've seen and grown knowledge in these perspectives in these businesses that maybe no one else had. And maybe that college or a business degree can't even show you. And so I feel like it's my duty and my job to show, educate, lead, and build tools and softwares that genuinely help businesses grow. But on top of that, I want to lead by example. I want to show that faith, leadership, and determination can actually help you build something sustainable, rather than always feeling like you're building on clouds, and those clouds will one day allow you to fall through. And so with that, this is day 1. I don't have it all figured out, but I'm done consuming. I know that for a fact. Today marks the day that I'm going to build my life, build my story, and build my purpose for others around me. And with this channel, you're literally going to watch it unfold. This not only will serve as my own documentary, but in a way I want this to serve to show others and for people to use this as almost a testimony. So if you've ever felt stuck in the rat race or in what you've grown and built and it's failed, this channel is literally for you. I'm the living, walking, breathing testimony of you can start something and have it literally blow up in your face. And so my goal is to overcome that, figure out why it's blowing up in my face, what makes it tick, and eventually how to deconstruct it and see growth. That's all I have for you. This is day 1.